the signs. You know she knows much more than me, for all her eyes can see. If we ask, she has much more to give. If we ask, she has much more to give.
So, Ellen, as we look at the possibility of your using any kind of outside help, it is important to understand the concept of restorative care. This is the approach to helping seniors that assists them in gradually doing more and more for themselves. Sometimes it is because they get stronger and improve. At other times, it is because they find helpful adaptive equipment that effectively aids them in being able to do more for themselves. Restorative care is vital in helping assure that seniors are able to stay independent and even improve. Unfortunately, too often, when you bring someone in to help you, they want to take over and do a task for you. They want to be helpful, so they do for you. The problem is, the more they do for you, the more rapidly you get to the point that you cannot do it for yourself. It moves things in the wrong direction. It hastens deterioration, so traditional custodial care is not something we want to build into our plan. Rather, we need to either find helpers who have been trained in using restorative care principles, or train them ourselves. I pulled up a video that describes a little more specifically what I am talking about and why it is so important. Let's take a look at it.
To understand this new approach, we begin with the fact that seniors want to be able to continue to fully live life, contributing in big and small ways. A John A. Hartford Foundation 2024 survey found that there is a high level of dissatisfaction among older adults about the types of senior services currently available. Current services fail to understand how they want to live as they age. They want programs to help them increase their independence and well-being, enabling them to continue to fully live life. Senior Housing News describes the new senior demographic as much less like the old stereotype of older person, and more like the people we all work with and socialize with. They want a partnership where they work to maximize a full and meaningful life, rather than the stereotype of old person with a few activities to keep them busy. That partnership for reclaiming a full and meaningful life is emerging as the new direction for senior services. It provides a win-win for both seniors and the senior organizations that serve them. It is based on a simple concept: replace traditional custodial care with integrated restorative care. Custodial care identifies what a senior is having difficulty with and then has someone do it for them. Integrated restorative care, with the input of the senior, determines what they are having trouble doing and helps them regain the ability to do as much for themselves as possible. This is done by improving their abilities, working with rehab therapists when needed. Additionally, it involves finding alternative ways to successfully be able to do tasks, ways to use assistive devices to make it easier, or technology to take over some of the work. This restorative approach is integrated into all aspects of the senior's personal care and community involvement. The seniors are helped to increasingly do more and more for themselves. Here is an example of how it works. If a senior is having difficulty dressing herself, custodial care simply starts dressing her. The concept, use it or lose it, is true, and very rapidly, she reaches a point where she can no longer dress herself at all. This begins to interfere with her being able to handle her clothing when toileting, causing her to need even more help. By contrast, an integrated restorative care approach starts by assessing why he is having trouble. It may be limited upper body strength, fine motor coordination problems, and difficulty reaching his lower body. Physical and occupational therapy can then begin working on these issues. Nurses and care assistants encourage him to do all he can for himself, supplementing only what he can't do. Team members search for ways to simplify the tasks so that the resident can do more for himself. Buttons are replaced with Velcro fasteners, and slip-on shoes replace those he had to tie. A reacher and dressing stick are introduced to help him make lower body dressing easier. Clothing is moved so that it is in drawers next to his bed and easier for him to reach. Activities in the community encourage craft work that increases fine motor strength and coordination, and an exercise class builds upper body strength. All of these strategies, working together with the resident's ideas, move him toward greatly improved functional independence and less risk of needing a higher level of care or even the potential for living more independently. The future is bright for everyone, as seniors are helped to actually maximize their potential using integrated restorative care helps seniors be able to fully live life. It also helps senior communities and other senior services have the tools they need for a bright, successful future.
I remember it from the last time we talked. But this went into so much more detail. It makes all kinds of sense to me.
It's interesting, isn't it? Almost 100 years ago, Dr. Marjorie Warren is known as the mother of British geriatric medicine. She warned of the danger to seniors of creating learned helplessness by taking over and doing for seniors. How this rapidly leads to their being unable to do it by themselves. Fortunately, things are changing, and there is a growing understanding. The way you help assure seniors have the best chance to fully live the life they want is to help them retain and restore the ability to do as much for themselves as possible. Ellen will be using that principle as we work together now to develop your own plan, using strategies that can help you successfully stay in the game, as they say.
Perfect. I really can't wait to put this into practice. Let's make the plan.
If we ask, she has much more